Hi and welcome to what I hope you'll enjoy is a diagrammatic chronology of the Black Country Railways. This is the main line railways, it won't be any of the industrial railways. If you're unfortunate enough not to know where the Black Country is, well, it's in England and it lies to the west of Birmingham, and it's not Birmingham. Now, there is some dispute as to what the actual area of the Black Country is, but basically it's what's on this map, and the railways I'll cover will be within like the black area, which is like Stourbridge, Alzowen, West Bromwich, Walsall, Wolverhampton. Now, my wife, who was born and raised in Craiglie Heath, thinks anywhere north of Dudley isn't in the Black Country, but I can safely ignore her because she never watches any of my videos. What isn't in dispute is the area's rich industrial heritage, which started as early as the 18th century. Canals went hand in hand with the Industrial Revolution, and these were the canals in the area of the Black Country we're looking at just before the first railway arrived. So on July the 4th, 1837, the Grand Junction Railway extended its line from Stafford through to Birmingham, opening stations in our area at Wolverhampton, Willenhall, James Bridge and Bescot Bridge. Perhaps surprisingly, we had to wait another 10 years before the next line was opened, and this was the short stretch of line opened by the South Staffordshire Railway from Walsall down onto what was now the London and North Western Railways line at Bescot, and the London North Western Railway opened a station at the junction. Moving on to 1849, the South Staffordshire Railway extended their line from Walsall up to Winchester Junction. At the same time, they opened up a new station at Walsall, a few hundred yards north of the first temporary station. Meanwhile, over in Wolverhampton, the Shrewsbury and Birmingham Railway extended their line from Oakengates down to Wolverhampton at a temporary terminus uniquely named Wolverhampton Temporary. So on to 1850, and on May the 1st the South Staffordshire Railway extended their line south from Pleck Junction down to a temporary station at Dudley, with intermediate stations at Wednesbury Town, Great Bridge and Dudley Port. At the same time, they took the opportunity to open the Bescot Curve, linking this new stretch of line with the London North Western Railway. Whilst on the subject of the London North Western Railway, they closed Bescot Bridge Station, and they then renamed Bescot as Bescot Junction. Whilst further up the line, the station known as Wolverhampton became in this period known colloquially as Wensfield Heath for Wolverhampton. In 1852 we see two new major lines opened. First, in February, the Stour Valley line was opened from Stour Valley Junction just north of Northampton through to Wolverhampton and on to Birmingham. Initially it was only open for goods, but it opened to passengers in May with stations at Eskinghall Road and Bilston, Deepfields, Tipton, Dudley Port, Oldbury and Bromford Road, Spon Lane, and of course back in Wolverhampton, a new station, Wolverhampton General, and it replaced the Wolverhampton Temporary, which was closed. The second line to open was the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railways line to Dudley. Now this opened in two stages. The first was in May, and this was the extension from Droitwich to Stourbridge, where a new station was opened. Then in November the line was extended to Dudley, initially for freight and in December for passengers. There were stations at Brettle Lane, Briley Hill and Round Oak, Netherton and finally Dudley. Things quietened down a bit in 1853 with only the short stretch of line opened in December by the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway from Dudley to a junction with the Stour Valley line, and they opened a new station at Ditman. Meanwhile, in May, a new station was opened on the Stour Valley line at Albion, and in July, Brierley Hill and Round Oak station was renamed Round Oak and Brierley Hill. I kid you not. Further up the Stour Valley line in September, Wolverhampton General was renamed Wolverhampton Queen Street, and on the same date, Wensfield for Wolverhampton was closed. In 1854, 3 new lines opened. The first and shortest opened in January by the South Staffordshire Railway from Sedgley Junction to Dudleyport Station on the Stour Valley line. Then in April, the Oxford and Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway finally reached Wolverhampton by extending its line from Tipton. North of Wolverhampton, the line connected with the Shrewsbury line and the London North Western's line to Stafford. The line initially opened just for goods. However, in July, the line was opened to passengers with stations at Daisy Bank, Bilston, Priestfield and in Wolverhampton, Wolverhampton Joint. Staying with stations, on the Stour Valley line in August 1854, Deepfield Station was renamed Deepfield and Coseley, and over on the LNW's line in October 1854, they opened Portobello Station. Finally, in November, the Great Western extended its line from Birmingham to Priestfield Junction, opening stations at West Bromwich, Swan Village, Wednesbury, Bilston, and Priestfield Station was enlarged. So on to 1860, and I'm breaking one of my own sort of self-imposed rules here in the fact that I'm grouping 3 separate line events at different dates into one slide. The first line that opened in November 1858 was the line from Kings Winford Junction just north of Stourbridge up to Bromley Basin, and this was opened by the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway and was initially only open just for freight. And whilst in the area, in 1857, Round Oak and Brierley Hill became Round Oak, and in 1858 a new station was opened at Brierley Hill. Further to the north, in 1860 the Great Western Railway opened the Wednesbury Spur, which connected their main line to the South Staffordshire Railway. Close by, the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway disconnected their curve to the Stour Valley line, thus making it a short goods branch to a nearby canal basin. Prior to this, there have been some station events. In August 1855, Wensfield Heath Station reopened, and in April 1856, Wolverhampton Joint Station became known as Wolverhampton Low Level, and in December 1856, the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway opened Princess End. And upwards to 1863, and 3 new lines were opened in this year. The first line to open on the 1st of April was the Stourbridge Railway's line to Cradley, starting at Stourbridge Junction with intermediate stations at Lye and Cradley. The other 2 lines were both opened on the same date by the South Staffordshire Railway on the 14th of September 1863. First was the line from James Bridge to Wednesbury with 1 station at Darlaston, and the other line was opened from Wednesbury to Tipton Junction on the Stour Valley line with just 1 station at Princess End. Other station events included the Great Western Railway opening up Bradley and Moxley Station in June 1862, whilst with the opening of Darlaston Station, The N&W changed the name of the existing Darlington station to James Bridge. And finally, on the Stour Valley line, the London and North Western Railway opened Monmore Green Station on the 1st of December 1863. So in 1866 there were two new lines opened. The first line to open on the 1st of January 1866 was the Stourbridge Railway's extension to their line from Cradley to Old Hill, with a new station opened at Old Hill. The second line to open on the 1st of September 1866 was by the Great Western Railway, with a line from Swan Village Junction to Horsley Junction at Great Bridge, and there was one new station opened at Great Bridge. Station events in this period was the opening of Ocker Hill Station on the 1st of July 1864, and in April 1866 Daisy Bank lost the letter E to become Daisy Bank. In 1867 there was just one line opened, a very important one, with the Stourbridge Railway extending their line on the 1st of April from Old Hill to join with both the Stour Valley and the Great Western main lines. There were new stations at Rowley, Albury and Langby Green, Rood End and Smethwick Junction. So on to 1872 and a new line and a new company. On the 1st of November 1872 the Wolverhampton and Walsall Railway opened a line from, not surprisingly, Wolverhampton to Walsall. There were stations at North Walsall, Bentley, Shortheath, Clark's Lane, Willenhall, Marketplace, Wensfield and Heath Town. On the same date, the London North Western Railway changed Willenhall Station to Willenhall Bridge. And so on to 1878, when one new line was opened, and that was from Old Hill to Halesowen, opened on the 1st of March 1878 by the Great Western Railway, and there was one new station at Halesowen. On the same date, the Great Western Railway closed Netherton Station and replaced it with a new station a quarter of a mile to the north and named it Dudley, Southside and Netherton. Earlier in 1873, the NNWR closed both Portobello and Wensfield Heath stations. So on to 1879, and an even shorter stretch of line was opened by the Great Western Railway on the 1st of October to Stourbridge Town from what was now to be known as Stourbridge Junction. The line did continue on to connect with the existing goods line to the town's canal basin. The section of old line back to the main line near Stourbridge engine shed was closed. So on to 1881, and two new stretches of line were opened. March the 1st, 1881, the London and Western Railway opened a connecting line from its main line at James Bridge Junction, which is now known as Darlston Junction, onto the South Staffordshire line at Pleck Junction. A station was opened on the line at Pleck, but not until the 1st of October 1881. The other line to open, also by the London North Western, was from Portobello Junction to Heath Town Junction. Other station events this year was the opening of Wood Green Old Bescot, a new station on the site of the now closed Bescot Bridge. Also, Willenhall Bridge was now renamed simply as Willenhall. And so on to 1883, and two stretches of line were opened in this year. The first was by the Halesowen Joint Railway on the 1st of September 1883, when they extended the Halsowing branch to Northfield Junction on the Birmingham and Gloucester main line. And the second line was the Tipton Curve, opened by the London North Western Railway on the 1st of October, linking the Princess End branch with a northward link to the Stour Valley line. I've shown two dates on this slide, as the Oldbury Town branch opened to goods on the 7th of November 1884, and it wasn't until the 1st of May 1885 that it opened to passengers with the opening of Oldbury Town Station. With the opening of the branch, Langley Green Station was re-sited 220 yards further south. On the same date, just further up the tracks, Rood End Station was closed, and a month later, further to the north, Wolverhampton Queen Street was renamed Wolverhampton High Level. So we come to the end of the 19th century, and there were no further line openings, but there were several station events, such as in 1887, Darlington Station closed, so the nearby James Bridge Station changed its name to James Bridge for Darlaston. However, it didn't end there, for on the 1st of January 1889 it's changed its name yet again to Darlaston for James Bridge. On the 1st of July 1889, Cradley Station became Cradley Heath and Cradley, and on the 1st of September 1889, Rowley Station was renamed Rowley and Blackheath. On the 1st of November 1890, Ocker Hill and Princess End stations closed, and in May 1891, Rowley and Blackheath was renamed Rowley Regis and Blackheath. And finally, on the 1st of October 1898, Bentley Station closed. So 1900 and the 20th century dawns, and the Black Country Railways look a bit like this. So that's it. For those of you who got this far, I really admire your fortitude. I'd just like to say that I've used many sources, as you can see here, as well as using the net, but the one source I found really useful is the Railways of the West Midlands, published by the Stevenson Locomotive Society. I bought my copy at some railway event, second-hand stall, and believe me, it's the best £5 I ever spent. So if there are any mistakes, and I'm sure there probably are, they're not down to the sources, it's down to me. So once again, thanks for watching.